I'm just an ordinary person. I'm longing, looking and searching for nothing, yet I desire everything. And I'm just hoping that I see you rising, coming into my view. I can't seem to shake it. I'm longing for everything, yet I have nothing. Please don't mistake me. It's being just a symbol of loneliness. I am searching just like you and every other person, and I'm just looking for that moment, looking for that moment, looking for that moment.
I'd like to say that our hearts go out to the Blake family and the other families who've been impacted by the tragic events in Kenosha. As Jacob's mother has urged the country, let's use our hearts, our love, and our intelligence to work together to show the rest of the world how humans are supposed to treat each other. America is great when we behave greatly. President Trump does not dabble in identity politics. He wants everyone to succeed and believes in the adage, a rising tide lifts all boats. Many on the other side love to incite division by claiming that President Trump is a racist. They could not be more wrong. We have a choice. Do we want big government that controls our lives from cradle to grave? Or do we believe in the power and wisdom of the people and their ability to self-govern with help from a limited federal government? Our president, Donald J. Trump, believes in the people. He is one of us. He makes promises and he keeps them. He is transparent, and we certainly know what he's thinking. He does not submit to political correctness or to its enforcers, the media. He is real. Right now, we need real. We need courage. We can't cower in the corner and hope that no one calls us a name, believing that will keep us safe. That is not courage, and that will not lead us to a good and just place. We must remember all those who sacrificed everything in order to give us freedom, and we must be willing to do the same for those.
I'm the realest that you've seen. I'm the freshest on the scene. I'm the elephant in the room. Yeah, it's true. All eyes on the realest that you've seen. I'm the freshest on the scene. I'm the elephant in the room. Yeah, it's true. All eyes on the realest that you've seen. I'm the freshest on the scene. I'm the elephant in the room. Yeah, it's true. All eyes on the realest that you've seen. I'm the freshest on the scene. I'm the elephant in the room. Yeah, it's true. All eyes on me. Well, first of all, bitches, A-Ray on the track. Now tell me pussy niggas how you like that. I keep a blunt, roll up nothing but that gas. Getting to the money, yeah, I gotta get the bag. More entertainment, yeah, it's all the way real. Hold the wheel, grip the steel, let it loose if you feel. Turning corner, busting blocks, know the grind never stop. Bitch niggas flip flop while I'm headed to the top. Got my mind on my money, how to make it stack. Keep on pushing to the limits and your haters fall back. Playing Russian roulette, gotta cut me a check. Now these niggas they sweating because your boy on deck. Everything fingers to go. Just tell me who got the dro. Gon' fire up the spliff and throw me off in the yoke. Got my diamonds pressing up against the wood grain wheel. When you see a pimp shining, bitch, tell me how you feel. I'm the realest that you seen. I'm the freshest on the scene. I'm the elephant in the room. Yeah, it's true. All eyes on the realest that you seen. I'm the freshest on the scene. I'm the elephant in the room. Yeah, it's true. All eyes on the realest that you seen. I'm the freshest on the scene. I'm the elephant in the room. Yeah, it's true. All eyes on the realest that you seen. I'm the freshest on the scene. I'm the elephant in the room. Yeah, it's true. All eyes thirsty coming through. Tell me what it do. Got my grind on the maximum. How about you? I'm the realest that you seen. I'm the freshest on the scene. I'm the elephant in the room. All eyes is on me. I get it straight out the mud. Time to roll the blunt up. Gotta give me some vodka so I can pour me a cup. Going 55 north, I'm headed 220 south. And when I open my mouth, number gang pouring out. Put me up in the booth and I'ma show you how I do. You didn't motherfucking know I'm the motherfucking truth. Jacktown still reppin' while I'm marching, niggas steppin'. A-Ray on the track, nephew got me flexin'. I'm about to take flight, staying high as a kite. And I'm the motherfucking CEO, bitch, get it right. I'm the realest that you seen. I'm the freshest on the scene. I'm the elephant in the room. All eyes is on me. I'm the realest that you seen. I'm the freshest on the scene. I'm the elephant in the room. Yeah, it's true. All eyes on the realest that you seen. I'm the freshest on the scene. I'm the elephant in the room. Yeah, it's true. All eyes on the realest that you seen. I'm the freshest on the scene. I'm the elephant in the room. Yeah, it's true. All eyes on the realest that you seen. I'm the freshest on the scene. I'm the elephant in the room. Yeah, it's true. All eyes on me.
Our daughter Kayla was taken as a hostage and murdered by ISIS. From a young age, Kayla was amazing. She taught herself languages, how to write music, how to play guitar. She worked with troubled youth, military veterans, and Native Americans. Everywhere Kayla went, people smiled. Kayla had a gift to be able to see the world through someone else's eyes. She became a humanitarian aid worker, and when she was helping children at an orphanage in India, Kayla wrote, "I find God in the suffering eyes reflected in mine. If this is how you are revealed to me, this is how I will forever seek you." She went to Turkey to help Syrian refugees in 2012. In August 2013, she was asked by another aid worker to cross the border into Syria to help at a hospital. On August 4th, 2013, ISIS terrorists stopped her vehicle and took her captive.
Kayla was mostly held in a 12 by 12 cell in solitary confinement. It was cold and dirty. ISIS terrorists shined bright lights in her face. They shaved her head. They beat her and tortured her. The leader of ISIS, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, raped her repeatedly. For 18 months, she endured. And we endured an agonizing back and forth between us, the Obama administration, and ISIS. We put all our faith in the government, but the government let us down. President Obama refused to meet with us until ISIS had already beheaded other Americans. To this day, we've never heard from Joe Biden. Instead, the Obama administration had hid behind policy so much that we felt hopeless when they kept us from negotiating to save Kayla's life. The administration showed more concern for the terrorists in Guantanamo than the American hostages in Syria. The military prepared a rescue mission, but the White House delayed it. By the time it went forward, Kayla had been moved to another location. After 18 months of brutal torture, we learned from ISIS that Kayla had been killed. The Obama administration kept telling us they were doing everything they could, but their version of everything wasn't enough. What a difference a president makes. Under President Trump, U.S. Army Special Operators conducted a raid on al-Baghdadi's compound. After we learned that al-Baghdadi was killed, we learned something else. The operators named themselves Task Force 814 after August 14th, Kayla's birthday. And the mission was named Operation Kayla Mueller. To those soldiers, thank you. Kayla was looking down on you. The Trump team gave us empathy we never received from the Obama administration. The Obama administration said it was doing everything it could. The Trump administration is. Let me just say this. Kayla should be here. If Donald Trump had been president when Kayla was captured, she would be here today.
Thank you.
This nigga mad, he got beef. Nigga trippin' cause bitch chose me. All over some pussy. All over some pussy. This nigga mad, he won't beef. This nigga trippin' cause bitch chose me. All over some pussy. All over some pussy.
Man, let me tell you how real pimp roll. I don't trip on a bitch. No, I give you a hoe, but salt dropping, flip flopping on some messy ass shit. This nigga mad, got beef over ratchet ass bitch. I don't chase him, I replace him, they come dime a dozen. Can't get in my pocket, then I show him no love, but don't kiss her. If you did, you might taste my kid. Yeah, I skeeted in the back of her throat, and she swallowed it. Oh, you mad now? You got beef now? You really want $1 million niggas on your street all over some pussy, all over some pussy. Yeah, you niggas some rookies, and I take your damn cookies. Miss me with that drama like Joe Dirt missed his mama. I murk your ass quick. You been lying, I'm Obama. This nigga mad, he won't be. This nigga trippin' cause his bitch chose me. All over
this
some
nigga
pussy.
Mad, he got beef. Nigga trippin' cause bitch chose me. All over some pussy. All over some pussy. This nigga mad, he won't beef. This nigga trippin' cause bitch chose me. All over some pussy. All over some pussy. Pussy rule the world. That's a fucking lie. They run a weak nigga crazy, no fucking lie. I got a bitch that'll ditch on a fucking guy. She got this nigga really tripping on her pussy high. I never seen that type of guy. Super side pimping, you niggas small fry. I stick and move like a player, out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, ho, I see you later. Bitches ALD for mail, nigga callin' why I'm fucking, but the bitch don't care, no answer. He sick like he got cancer. Good girl with you, but when she with me, she my private dancer. But I'ma treat her like I'm supposed to. You shoulda knew a hoe when you approached her. I can't be responsible for your bitch getting comfortable. Intrigued by a real nigga, real shit she tweaking for. This nigga mad, he got beef. Nigga trippin' cause bitch chose me. All over some pussy. All over some pussy. This nigga mad, he won't beef. This nigga trippin' cause bitch chose me. All over some pussy. All over some pussy.
Again, the Democrats are urging you to vote for an obviously defective candidate. Biden has changed his principles so often, He no longer has any principles. He's a Trojan horse with Bernie, AOC, Pelosi, Black Lives Matter, and his party's entire left wing. The whole unprecedented wave of lawlessness began with a truly just cause: the unforgivable police killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis. Though an agreement on action against police brutality would be very valuable for the country, it would also make President Trump appear to be an effective leader. They could have none of that. So Black Lives Matter and Antifa sprang into action, and in a flash, they hijacked the peaceful protests into vicious, brutal riots. But the worst of it was the slaughter of innocent young people with their whole lives ahead of them. The murder of 4-year-old LeGrand Talfaro in Kansas City shocked the nation, but not Black Lives Matter or their many Democrat supporters. 17-year-old basketball star Brandon Hendricks was killed in the Bronx just days after graduating high school and on his way to St. John's to play basketball. He passed with only a brief mention. 1-year-old Davil Gardner Jr. was shot and killed in a stroller at a cookout in Brooklyn, and it caused no outrage. For President Trump and for us Republicans, all Black lives matter, and the lives of LeGrand and Brandon and Davil matter to us. All lives matter to us. It is clear that a vote for Biden and the Democrats creates the risk that you will bring this lawlessness to your city, to your town, to your...
Yeah. Lies. Yeah. You nigga like to tell lies. Ain't it hard? Exposed. Seem like all these niggas wanna do in life is lie. You never really get the whole truth because of the lies, but don't be surprised. Gotta cut them off first time, can't really live life straight. What's wrong with this youth when they get in the booth and tell the truth? Cause I don't like the lie, I don't like the lie. Seems like all these niggas wanna do in life is lie. You never really get the whole truth because of the lies, but don't be surprised. Gotta cut them off first time, can't really live life straight. What's wrong with this youth when they get in the booth and tell the truth? Cause I don't like the lie, no I don't like the lie. Let's start with some facts. I had to cut a couple niggas off, I ain't like the way they act. All that fake kicking shit, really wanna fuck my chick, then smile in my face, get the fuck out my face. Cause cross me, nigga, is a sin. I'm not chucking my nigga, we not friends to the end. All that fake kicking shit, I'm not built for that. In the hood, fake niggas get killed for that. When I was down bad and you was up, you would look at me bad, I look at you like, what's up? They were friends, do but fuck you, nigga, I don't fuck with you. I regret in the beginning when I stuck with you. Cause my love was real and you was fake as hell. Don't mean to touch your harm, but I've been ringing bells. You saw me red side and that shit was fake. I'm the next thing up, you can take a break, yeah. Seem like all the nigga wanna do in life is lie. You never really get the whole truth because of the lies, but don't be surprised. Gotta cut them off first time, can't read a little lies right. What's wrong with this youth when they get in the booth and tell the truth? Cause I don't like the lie, no I don't like the lie. Seems like all the nigga wanna do life is lie. You never really get the whole truth because of the lies, but don't be surprised. Gotta cut them off first time, can't read a little lies straight. What's wrong with this youth when they get in the booth and tell the truth? Cause I don't like the lie, no I don't like the lie. Could've fucked your baby mama, I could've fucked all your hoes, but I don't like to start drama. More these niggas that I grew up with ain't shit except for D, and y'all took that friendship away from me. I'm tired of that fake shit, maybe one spray shit. See shit going on, I don't even say shit. Riding on their dick, all on the gay shit. Talking about I'm back and shit, I don't play, bitch. My circle small now, it full of squares. You really can't find another me, I'm rare. The nigga really acting like the hoes I'm aware, but I don't really care. I'm so far gone, way past that bitch there. You can smash that, she gon' ask you where the cash at. You the type of nigga bitch look at and laugh at. 2K19, all getting green, smoke green. That boy that green, he ain't with the team. It's all about the cash, yeah, I'm talking that cream. And we want rings, put us in the playoffs. Boys stay grinding, we don't never take a day off. What the fuck is layoff? It's about the money here, yeah, I stayed out. I'm trying to get the money, man, you niggas in the way dog. Down near 30, and you acting like a kid, you ain't cut it. We ain't got no problem, but you ain't my buddy. To keep it 100, dog, I don't even trust you. I don't wanna fight you, and I don't wanna bust you. Keep it this cup, we ain't cool, cause I don't give a fuck about you. I wouldn't put my money on you, cause it's without you. I don't really know the real you, it's the clout you. Seem like all the nigga wanna do in life is lie. You never really get the whole truth because of the lies, but don't be surprised. Gotta cut them off first time, can't read a little light right. What's wrong with the truth when they get in the booth? I tell the truth cause I don't like the lie, no I don't like the lie. Seems like all the nigga wanna do in life is lie. You never really get the whole truth because of the lies, but don't be surprised. Gotta cut them off first time, can't read a little light right. What's wrong with the truth when they get in the booth? I tell the truth cause I don't like the lie, no I don't like the lie.
This is the unifying national agenda that will bring our country together. So tonight I say to all Americans, this is the most important election in the history of our country. There has never been such a difference between two parties or two individuals in ideology, philosophy, or vision than there is right now. Our opponents believe that America is a depraved nation. We want our sons and daughters to know the truth. America is the greatest and most exceptional nation in the history of the world. Our country wasn't built by cancel culture, speech codes, and soul-crushing conformity. We are not a nation of timid spirits. We are a nation of fierce, proud, and independent American patriots. We're a nation of pilgrims, pioneers, adventurers, explorers, and trailblazers who refuse to be tied down, held back, or in any way reined in. Americans have steel in their spines, grit in their souls, and fire in their hearts. There is no one like us on earth. I want every child in America to know that you are part of the most exciting and incredible adventure in human history. No matter where your family comes from, no matter your background in America, anyone can rise. With hard work, devotion, and drive, you can reach any goal and achieve every ambition. Americans build their future. We don't tear down our past. We are the nation that won a revolution, toppled tyranny and fascism, and delivered millions into freedom. We laid down the railroads, built the great ships, raised up the skyscrapers, revolutionized industry, and sparked a new age of scientific discovery. Together we are unstoppable. Together we are unbeatable. Because together we are the proud citizens of the United States of America. And on November 3rd, we will make America safer. We will make America stronger. We will make America prouder. And we will make America greater than ever before. I am very, very proud to be the nominee of the Republican Party. I love you all. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
Bands up, run them fucking bands up, nigga, yeah. It's Coogee the Mayor, and we tryna run that money up, tryna get that bag, you know what I'm saying? I'm in here with them 94 boys, and we getting to this bread, you know what I'm saying? Y'all check it out now, we tryna run them bands up. Run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up. Nigga, I'ma always run them bands up. Nigga, I'ma always keep drink off in my cup. It ain't nothing for me to get a bitch to fuck. I bet $100 that she fuck for $1. You playin' with my money, then you better dig your grave. Everybody know blue hunters is what a craze. So many chains around my neck, you think I was a slave. Get out my way, cause the way I'm about to pay. Nigga, you broke, I can't hear what you say. Walking around begging me for blunts every day. Always give money, so I really can't play. Niggas try to hate, but it's really okay. Pop me a pill or two so I can go harder. You say that you're smart, but I'm way more smarter. The niggas I fuck with, they be running bands up. And if you got 1 million followers, then you run your fans up. I'm just a perfect painted picture, but I'm out here making action. Some of the shit you say you do, boy, you do a lot of capping. A nigga like me really gon' make it happen. And fuck your big brother, cause the nigga is a has-been. My people told me, boy, you need to start rapping, cause I seen it in you, and you do the shit with passion. Kill the fucking beat, you can call the paddy wagon. And I spit more fire than a goddamn dragon. Yeah, goddamn it, yeah, I'm for the goddamn let Sunset let Pro hustle. You know what I'm saying? Count this bag. We got this money, you know what I'm saying? We finna count it up, you know what I'm saying? Hundreds and 50, you know what I'm saying? We gon' go out there and go get the hundreds, you know what I'm saying? We gon' take them out, you know what I'm saying? Cause we ballin', you know what I'm saying? Count up this guap, you know what I'm saying? RFE Bills and beat 94 boys, you know what I'm saying? We up next shouting, you know what I'm saying? Sunset Larry Poe hustle, let them know. We run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up.
You wanna teach me, but I wanna bend. Stop fucking with niggas, I know it's an infant. Bitches, I'm tired of they getting too skinny, I come from the bottom. Flow like a penny, you basically simple, I'm popping like Pimmer. Going down like some dimmers, you losing, we winning. Won't stop till the rubber run up, bitch, gotta run over on them smiggies. I'm tired, I'm just tired of these bitches lying, but God don't like ugly, that's why vaginas just keep trying. Get your hair done, just keep frying. And your little baby just keep crying, cause your baby that ain't shit, won't even come see his little child. Nigga going to jail, fucking me crying, get interrogated, go to testify, looting chains, just drop down, then get out and get glorified. I don't understand what's going on, nigga fucking up the game, playing the wrong, bitch losing weight at rap speed, then talking about it cause weed.
Run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up, run them bands up, run them fucking bands up.
I'm tryna run my bands up to $1 million real quick. Throw a point on the dice, 4,000, that's a lick. Rate this nigga for some bands, got the flu, now he sick. Now I'm up a few dollars, heard little nigga was talking shit. I ain't with that sneak, this and little nigga, I'm bout that action, I ain't no actions, I'm a savage, so what's happening? My niggas will rob you for some bands, shake your hand, take your pants, give you the blues, take your shoes, and then they little nigga made the news. Run them bands up, ay, 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 count them bands up, ay, 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 little nigga, get your bands up, ay, 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 put your bands up, ay, 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 ay. Every day I'm on a mission, trying to get it in the trenches with the stench, starting in the gang, little niggas on the bench, I'm wild paying with the pack, one sap with the sack, he did it with the stack, apple stove with the Mac, ain't no acrobat, making plays flip like a trampoline, I love that green, keep that lean, I'm a junkie like a fan, I ain't no fan, but I know some fan who love that dope, who love to smoke, that shit that pro and hair you choking, one hit out that hair you roll, my nigga came up out the crack, down south in the jack, where is it? That's a fact, tryna run my bands up back to back, no bankroll free, but I'm back to back, my nigga got trouble back to back, we been dropping hits like back to back, I been throwing lists like back to back, stop the track. Hey, 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 now I'm back where I left, talking back to back to back. I want them racks on racks on racks. I'm talking stacks on stacks on stacks. I'm stacking chase on chase on chase. I ran through packs on packs on packs. Santa Claus in the hood with a sack on my back, the sack on my back, the gas in the backpack, jetpack, sit back, watch that, take that shoot back from a minor setback, trying to get back where I live, that life I'm living. Yeah, I picked that shit I rap about. I live that night for boys on top. I meant that.
Many of you know who I am, what I do, and that I am friends with the president. I spoke at this convention 4 years ago, and I'm back because I believe we need President Trump's leadership now more than ever. Before the pandemic, President Trump built the greatest economy in our nation's history and created opportunities for all Americans like no one before him. Financial markets hit all-time highs, unemployment was at an all-time low, and we weren't facing the lawless destruction that now is occurring in a few of our great cities. It blows my mind how quickly some of the leadership in this country has forgotten the critical role first responders play in our society. Police departments and other law enforcement, even some fire departments, have faced opposition from many in this country. But they are always the people who are asked to step up when things are at their worst and put themselves at risk. That has certainly been the case during this ongoing pandemic. Come on, America. Defunding these vital positions is not the answer. The first responders have always taken care of us. And now, more than ever, we need to take care of them. Now, let's talk about COVID. And let's be very honest about it. No one person and no one place could have anticipated the challenges that COVID would bring. But President Trump has faced all these obstacles head on. He immediately put protective measures in place, and he reached out to the best and the brightest leading American businesses across all industries to discuss what he and his administration could do to get the economy back up and running safely. President Trump recognized that one of the small ways to instill a sense of normalcy in people's lives was to bring back entertainment options. The president went above and beyond to help all sports leagues involved figure out a way to overcome the challenges of staging live professional sporting events in the middle of a pandemic. And you know what? We did it. The UFC was the first to do it, and we are continuing to do it. Now, other sports have joined us, and some of the lessons learned are being used to help reopen other types of businesses and schools. I'd like to close with this. While it's critically important to re-elect President Trump, this pandemic has also taught us to be very, very careful who you select as your next governor, senator, congressperson, and mayor. It is so important to vote. And don't think that your vote doesn't matter, because to be honest with you, it has never mattered more than it does right now. Thank you, and have a great evening.
Gas up, 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 gas up. I'm blowing it out. I got that diesel 93, I'm burning out. I'm gassed up. I'm blowing it out. I got that diesel 93, I'm burning out. I'm gassed up. I put that pressure in my swisher, now I'm twisting it up. I stay fly high like with Khalid, but I be switching it up. They say, hey, slick, put out that fire, cause you be flicking too much. I say I can't let it be frank, cause I be nicking too much. I smoke like a maniac, I'm a brainiac, still I'm getting no fool. Without a list of left 3-5, I'm catching acid reflux. Gotta have my gat, that 4-leaf clover, good look. My blood so strong, my blood so long, feel like we smoking a truck. Gas up, 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 gas up. I'm blowing it out. I got that diesel 93, I'm burning out. I'm gassed up. I'm blowing it out. I got that diesel 93, I'm burning out. I'm gassed up.
Man, I'm so damn hot, I'm dancing on the star. I told that chick to fuck with me, I'm really going for on a foreign car, just so I can smoke that shit out. You got a fatty girl, you know we only poke that shit out, but I'ma let you know about me. OR in your great kush. Shit, I might compliment your beauty, then slap you on the tush. Yeah, that kush, got this switch, about to put some diesel in it, man, we winning. This is only the beginning, man, I like slick, let's get it.
Gas up, 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 gassed up. I'm blowing it out. I got that diesel 93, I'm burning out. I'm gassed up. I'm blowing it out. I got that diesel 93, I'm burning out. I'm gassed up. Gas up, gas up, gas up, gas up, gas up, gas up, gassed up. I'm blowing it out. I got that diesel 93, I'm burning out. I'm gassed up.
The president defied all convention and I think objectively pushed the limits on federal law by holding his event at the White House.
Gathered here at our beautiful and majestic White House, known all over the world as the People's House.
This was the president that Republicans love and embrace for this very reason. It's the president that Democrats loathe and frame as a fundamental threat to democracy.
This election will decide whether we save the American dream or whether we allow a socialist agenda to demolish our cherished destiny.
Trump repeatedly went after Biden and the far left, the radical agenda, this extreme agenda, the socialist. We heard the word socialist a lot.
Joe Biden and his party repeatedly assailed America as a land of racial, economic, and social injustice.
Democrats nominated this establishment figure in Joe Biden, who's moved left over the years, but is not by any stretch of the imagination actually a socialist. But Trump just more or less went with the same strategy with whole sections of his speech and certainly with attack lines that he would have used had Democrats nominated Bernie Sanders.
The Republican Party condemns the rioting, looting, arson, and violence we have seen in Democrat-run cities all like Kenosha.
We've heard these phrases that I think we're going to hear a lot again. Joe Biden's America, Donald Trump's America. Trump is pointing at the violence in Kenosha, the scenes that we've seen with some of the protests since George Floyd's killing. And he's saying that this is Joe Biden's America. If you elect Joe Biden, this is what you're going to see. And Biden's looking around and saying, hey, you're literally the president now. This is Donald Trump's America.
Joe Biden wants to inflict a painful shutdown on the entire country.
Trump is saying Joe Biden's America would just shut the economy down and we can combat coronavirus safely without doing that. Joe Biden's America means a shut down economy. And Biden's is looking back at Trump saying, well, 180,000 Americans are already dead.
Our country wasn't built by cancel culture, speech codes, and soul-crushing conformity.
I'm sure the president is pleased with his speech, and I think his campaign staff is pleased with what he did tonight because they very clearly are running a base strategy. They very clearly are trying to define Biden as antithetical to what they see as the American identity and what they think a majority of Americans see as the country's identity.
We will make America safer. We will make America stronger.
The Biden team is just as confident that the vice president's framing this entire time that Donald Trump is a fundamental threat to American democracy and that this battle is one for a, quote, soul of the nation. They're just as confident that Biden's framing appeals to a majority of Americans.
dope. So the feds ain't watching. But they hate niggas clocking. These crazy hoes stalking. You ain't touching they pockets. You ain't doing nothing, nigga. They ain't lynching no more. Now they pulling them triggers. Yeah, we ain't go mo. 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 Yeah, I stay smoking my niggas. I stay rolling my niggas. We ain't go mo, nigga. In the studio, nigga. Yeah, I get it how I live. Yeah, for real, no playing. Put me in the booth, I'm the truth, I'm slaying. All up in your grill, young niggas, stay true. Ain't met a nigga, you can do it like I do it. I'm the CEO. Now I spit these rhymes. I'ma lace these tracks. I'ma drop it on the dime. Got the lows on the front. When a nigga wanna stun, gotta break the weed down. So I can roll me a blunt. Gotta pour me a cup. So I can turn the heat up. Did it beat down the block. Bitch, turn my beat up. Yeah, it's every on the track. Cause this shit like that. Call the weed man up. Tell him I need enough sack. And I'm gon' do my thing. Stay gripping them grain. Stay switching them lanes. Taking them blunts to the brain. And I come to your city. I go and meet the plug. Show the nigga much love. Tell him keep me coming with the drug. Yeah, we ain't go mo. 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 Yeah, we ain't go mo.
What's your name?
Lieutenant Stephen Boinsey. You're in a bad spot. Came up here to try and help you with that. That was the reason to tell this story, to take this part, and why I'm so grateful for the Emmy nomination, that we're getting this kind of recognition for telling this kind of story. That's unusual.
We all know how unfortunately timely a story like this is. I mean, we shot Free Ray Sean probably a year ago now, and to just see, you know, some of the things that have transpired since then, you know, it's really just telling why, you know, we do the work we do.
I think we're getting it better. I think it's getting better. I think people's eyes are opening. I think their hearts are changing, their minds are changing, and that they are beginning to recognize that diversity is one of our greatest strengths in this country. I think people are even recognizing the fact that this country has always been diverse. The system has been set up in such a way that one group benefits more than others. And now people are calling for change. And I think that's a good thing and an encouraging sign.